Welcome to Alphabetical Anime. I am Galen with a G, and we are on the letter A. Just 25 more to go after this one, and we'll be done. Okay, so our first one is a winner. Not at all. A Centaur's life is basically school drama with demi-humans. I watched a whole episode. There were 12. It was made in 2017, and I give it a massive 10 rating. I do not recommend this. It's not even good slice of life. Just because they're demi-humans doesn't make it good. Pretty much the only person I would recommend watching this is preteens. It's childish, simple, not particularly worth watching. So we'll move on. Next one is a certain magical index. It's oddball mage meets cleric hunted by sorcerers. I watched about 4 episodes out of 74. It was made in 2008, and there are 45 episodes. I don't entirely recommend it. It's not bad. It's not horrible. I just couldn't get past the relationship between the two main characters. They weren't that interesting. The next one is a certain scientific accelerator. This one's actually set in the same world as a certain magical index, but it's actually quite a bit better. I watched all 12 episodes of it. It was made in 2019, so it was made quite a bit later than the original one. I give it actually quite a good rating, about an 80. I do recommend it. I enjoyed everything except for one character named Misika, who kept saying, Misika, Misika. That could send me on a killing spree. And frankly, in retrospect, it's really not worth an 80. I'd give it about a 73. So we're redating that number. Next one is certain scientific railgun. Young girls in a magical high school. I managed to get through 3 episodes out of 73. It was made in 2009. It's worth about a 23. Once again, same world as certain magical index. And every single episode requires at least one annoying character. It just wasn't that interesting. Okay, moving on. A condition called love. Young girl learns how to fall in love because she has problems with it. I watched an episode. There's 12 of them. Came out in 2024. I give it about a 17 unless you're a teenage girl who has those kinds of issues. Next off, a couple of cuckoos. A guy and a girl get accidentally engaged. I made it through 3 episodes of this one out of 23. It came out in 2022. It's not bad. It's just not my thing. I gave it a 43. If you like romance, it's probably worth a watch, but it didn't really work for me. After that, we're on to A Galaxy Next Door. Guy meets a girl from another galaxy. She's a little weird. The whole thing's a little weird. I got through about 3 episodes out of the dozen. It came out in 2023. It's a 50-50. If you like romance, I'd give it a little more. If you're not really looking for a romance, probably a little less. Anyway, we're moving on. A journey through another world, raising kids while adventuring. The name pretty much says it all. Raising kids while adventuring. I made it through 2 episodes out of the 8 that I had, but they've probably done 12 by now because it is a 2024. I rated it a 40, but personally, no. Just didn't work on a lot of levels, and giving you super powerful kids doesn't add anything for me. It just didn't entirely work. Let's see. Now we're moving on to something good, something horrid. A Little Snow Fairy Sugar. A young girl meets a winter fairy. I made it through an episode, and trust me, that was a challenge. There were 24 of those episodes when it came out in 2001, and I would rate it 5. The only person who's going to enjoy this is your 8-year-old daughter, maybe your 8-year-old son. maybe. Okay. Next one, A Lull in the Sea. I would basically call this Romeo and Juliet with sea people. I watched an episode. There are 26 of them from 2013. Um, I gave it a whole 21 points. It's got a silly premise and annoying characters. Not worth watching, in my opinion. Let's see now. A Place Further Than the Universe. I Wow, my notes are gone. I just remember this one not being particularly good. I watched an episode out of 13. Came out in 2008, and I gave it a 23. It's a slice of life show where every single character is either boring or stupid. I'm not quite sure what my plot happened to it, but oh well. It wasn't worth watching. Next one, a returner's magic should be special. Basically, simple plot. Hero reincarnates to save his friends. I watched the entire series. I have a tendency to watch a lot of fantasy. Those are my preference anyway. So I watched all 12 of them. It is from 2023, and I gave it a 72. It's basically a series where you've got lower class versus a privilege, and the main character is trying to redeem a horrible mistake that happened. Decent writing, not a lot of annoyance, and it doesn't have a swimsuit episode. So that's a plus. It was simply enjoyable. Next one, A Sign of Infection. Deaf girl gets a boyfriend. I watched an episode out of 12. Came out in 2024. There are 45 episodes. I'm sorry. Yeah, there are 12 episodes. I rated it a 45. Pretty much the only person who's going to watch this is a teenage girl. Why do all anime love stories seem to involve a girl who's almost painfully shy? Some people like it. I can't watch it. Now we move on to A Sister Is All You Need. No. Um, it's a show about a sister-obsessed manga artist and friends. I watched an episode out of 12. It came out in 2017. It's bad enough I gave it a 2. That's how bad it is. Frankly, it just feels like the author wanted to write a hentai about a sister and a boy and his sister who were in love with each other. Every single character in this thing is deeply broken, and I find nothing redeeming about it. It's bad. Okay, we're on to AD Police, To Protect and Serve. It's police fighting an out-of-control AI. I made it through 2 episodes out of the dozen. It's from 1989. I gave it a 33. It's a bad cop show set in the future. I just couldn't give about any of the characters. Next, we get on to AICO Incarnation. Spectral young girls get involved in fighting giant monsters. 3 episodes watched out of 12. Came out in 2018. I give it a 47, but I still don't recommend it. Wasn't entirely bad. I stayed aware with a while to say where it was going. I just couldn't connect. Next is A3. A3 has 2 seasons, 2 series. There's the spring and summer, autumn and winter. It's basically about a bunch of actors that are trying to save a theater while they learn their craft. I watched all 24 episodes. The show came out in 2020. I give it about a 69, and I recommend it. I almost stopped on this one, about a couple episodes in. But I generally enjoyed watching the characters grow in both episodes. It just simply turned out pretty good. The autumn and winter wasn't quite as good as the spring and summer, but the whole thing was enjoyable. Okay. ACCA 13 Territory Inspection Department. They invest various states to keep everyone above board. I watched an episode out of the 12. Came out in 2017. There are 31 episodes, and no, I just couldn't get into it. I'm sorry. There are 12 episodes. I rated it 31. I don't know why I keep doing that. Anyway, no. I couldn't relate to the characters. This is boring. Okay, on to After Lost. A city disappears, only one girl remains. The government plots to. One second, gotta expand this. Oh, only one girl remains. There's government plots surrounding around her. She's trying to escape. I watched a whole episode of it out of a dozen. Came out in 2019, and I rated 19. I don't even know why they're trying to save her, why they're dying for her. I didn't care. I just didn't care. Okay. AKB 0048. A gorilla pop star brightens a dull world. I watched 1 out of 13 episodes. Yeah. Came out in 2012. I rated a 22. Why is this open? Something opened on your screen. It's covering it. Okay. Well, fortunately, you can edit. Bad premise? Mediocre music? I don't know. Maybe if you're teenager or younger, it just doesn't work. AMAIM, Warriors at the Borderline. Giant robots, evil conquerors, cute AI, powerful prototype. Watched 1 out of 12. Made in 2022. Came out in. I gave it a 17. I'm not a huge fan of Mac, and this one's weak. The characters are transparent, and the villains are overdone. It's just whatever. Okay. Apare Ranman. This is a story about a machine-obsessed character who races across the United States in the Old West. There's 13 episodes, and I watched all of them. It came out in 2020. I give it a 73, and I recommend it. Sure, the characters are simple. The bad guy's over the top. But the characters are fun, and the main character's constant tinkering, etc., just makes the whole thing fun. I recommend it. Absolute Duo. High school students pair up and fight using their special powers. That's about all I would like to say about it. I watched 2 episodes out of 12. It came out in 2015, and I rated it a 37. Basically, you team up, you fight to survive. It had its moments, but it's just not good. 70% battle, 20% fan service, 10% harem. Still not good. Excel World. Loser in real life gets special powers in the accelerated world. I watched 2 out of the 24 episodes. It came out in 2012. I rated it 28. No. I like seeing underdog get ahead, but this guy just whines. Ace Attorney. I know people like this one. But basically, a defense attorney wins all of his cases by being smarter than anybody else. I watched 1 out of the 47 episodes. It came out in 2016. I give it an 18. Overacting, simple premise. No idea how this got 47 episodes. Actors Song Connection. High school students all join the singing club. I watched 1 episode out of 12. It came out in 2019. I rated it a 25. Just doesn't speak to me. There's no real flavor to it. Adachi and Shimamura. Friendship between two outcasts who skip class a lot. I watched an episode out of the 12, came out in 2020, and I rated it 14. I have no idea who would watch this. Maybe teenage girls. The space alien didn't help at all. Okay. Next one. Aesthetica of a rogue hero. Hero from another world saves a princess and ends up in magic school. I watched the whole thing. All 12 episodes. It came out in 2012, and this is kind of a borderline one. I give it a 51. It's not really that good. It's more of a guilty pleasure. There's quite a bit of fan service and a few really odd bits, but I just seem to enjoy it anyway. Ooh, we're on to a bad one. Africa Salaryman. Workplace comedy based around African animals. I watched one out of the 12 episodes. It came out in 2019, and I rated it 4. It's bad. It's not as bad as A Sister's All You Need, which is basically just, somebody wanted to hack up with their sister, but it's bad. The animation's horrible. It's not even vaguely funny. It took most of my resolve to even finish an episode. And now we move on to After School Dice Club. It's a slice of life show about board gaming. I watched an episode out of the dozen. Came out in 2019. I rated it a 19. It seems like it's just an ad for tabletop games. After the Rain. High school girl falls for her manager at work. I watched one episode out of 12. Came out in 2018. I gave it a 24. It's a May-December romance. And the guy she's been falling for acts like he should be the one in high school. Yeah. There's some parts of it that make it feel like the one about the sister. Anyway, on. Ah, my Buddha. The only boy in an all-girl Buddhist temple. I watched one out of the 25 episodes from 2005. I rated it a 15. It's just a giant pile of fan service without any plot. Okay, Ah, my Goddess. Boy gets a wish, wishes that the goddess would stay with him always. I watched all 24 of the first series, and I watched only 2 out of the second series. The first series was enjoyable. It's a 2005 anime, so it's got its limitations. Characters are a bit over top, but they became fun enough to watch. The second one just got tiring. It's the same stories over and over again, and so I kind of burned out by the second series after making it through the first one. It's a 50-50. Take your pick. Okay. Aharon is indecipherable. A very small, strange girl wants to make friends. I watched one episode out of 12 from 2022. I give it a 27. It's not unwatchable. It's just weird, and frankly, it's a bit boring. Okay. Ahiro no Sora. Short guy, loves basketball, constantly gets in trouble. I watched one out of the 50 episodes from 2019. I ranked it a 20. It's a sports anime, and it's not something I generally enjoy. And it didn't sell me on anything during the first episode. Okay. Tenchi Moyu. Tenchi Moyu goes undercover to save the world. I watched 3 episodes trying to figure it out. Out of the 50 from 2014, I ranked it a 17. They're short episodes. They're 4 to 5 minutes. They're fans. There's just tons of fan service, silly plots, lots of crying girls, whatever. Air. A strange girl connects to a homeless puppeteer, and they have an odd adventure. I watched one of the 12 episodes. Came out of 2005. I ranked it a 24. I just couldn't connect to it. The characters are fine. I just got nothing out of it. Air Gear. Roller skates with superpowers. That's right. If you love skating, maybe this is the anime for you. I watched 1 out of 25 episodes. Came out in 2006, and I ranked it at 18. The characters are over the top, and there's lots of fan service. So if that's what you need, that's what you get. It's predictable. Might be funny if you're 8. Hygiene, Demi-Human. Unkillable Demi-Human tries to survive without getting captured. I watched one of the 26 episodes. It came out in 2016. There are 35 episodes. I'm sorry. I ranked it as a 35, once again. May well be decent, but the morality play wasn't surprising, and it didn't speak to me. So, whatever. Akame Go Kill. An innocent young man gets recruited by elite assassins. There are 24 episodes, and I watched them all. It came out in 2014. I give it a 57. It's grim at times. Basically, almost all the royalty are horrible despots. The show is not afraid to kill the good guys. So beware. It's watchable. Not great. Akashic Record of Bastards Magic Instructor. Lazy Man is forced to teach magic to high school students. There are 12 episodes, and I watched them all. It came out in 2017, and I give it a 73. I can't say it's great anime. In fact, I don't think it is. But it's good enough, and it's one that I rewatch. The main character's fun, and that's part of what I like about a good anime is I like to get into the main character, and this guy's fun and smart and gets around things. There's a little bit of odd romance in it, but the rest of it's pretty watchable. Okay. Akibi's sailor uniform. A young girl wants to make friends and wear the school's old sailor uniform. I watched 1 out of 12 episodes from 2022. I rank it a 25, and it might be good if you're a preteen girl. Does nothing for me. The Akiba Maid War. Maid cafes run like they are organized crime syndicates. I have watched all 12 of the 12 episodes. This is bizarre. I will not say it is not. It came out in 2022, and I rank it a 75. It's not for everyone. But we start with a slaughter of girls from an alien girl cafe, and everyone's using insane mafia tactics. It was worth watching. I made it all the way through. I don't expect this to be like any main story you have ever seen or even imagined. It's just so different. Kiba's Trip, the animation. Fighting vampire creatures called bugged ones. Yeah, I watched 1 out of 13 episodes. It came out in 2017, and I gave it a 9. It's a kid's cartoon with fan service? I don't know. It's nothing worth watching. Akudama Drive. A normal human gets pulled into a superhuman fight to save 2 children. I watched the whole thing. There are 12 episodes, and it came out in 2020. I give it about a 53. It's a violent cyberpunk drama. There's some over-the-top characters, but a decent plot. Don't expect everyone to survive. Akuma-kun. Kid and his half-demon minion fight the supernatural. One episode out of 12 from 2023. I give it a 19. There's bad artwork. It feels like a kid's show. And the main character and the sidekick are both annoying. Why watch it? Aldanoa Zero. Mars vs. Earth giant robot fights. Frankly, started watching this one, thought I wasn't going to make it through an episode. Watched the whole thing. All 24 episodes from 2014. It's margin call. I give it about a 55. Basically, it's one of those mech stories where one side totally overpowers the other until somebody starts outthinking the other side. And the outthinking, somebody actually being smart, is the part that made it watchable. Like I said, not a big mech fan. Alice and Zoroku. A girl with magic powers meets a grumpy old man. I watched. the entire series, all 12 episodes. Oops. Yeah, there we go. It came out in 2017. I give it 51. It's a maybe. Um, it's kind of a weird combo of slice of life and magic girl. Frankly, the old man is the best part of this anime. Alice, not so much. It's bizarre. And sometimes bizarre is what strikes me. Next one, All Out. It's a sport anime about a small guy who discovers he wants to play rugby. I watched 1 out of 25 episodes. It came out in 2018, and I gave it a 9. I like rugby. This was boring and predictable. Okay, next up, all-purpose cultural cat girl, Nuku Nuku Dash. Boy falls in love with robot girl, but he doesn't realize she's a robot. One episode out of 26 watched, came out in 1998, which is usually not the best time for anime. I give it a 15. It's a typical 90s anime, worthless father, strong mother, love story where the girl's a robot. Ooh. Okay. Alia sometimes hides her feelings in Russian. Name says it all. Hot girl hides her real feelings by speaking in Russian. I watched 1 out of the 12 episodes from 2024 and I give it a 17. It's a slice of life romance with boring. Actually, I am the strongest. Reincarnated hero collects powerful allies while trying to be lazy. Watch the whole thing, all 12 episodes from 2023. I give it a 34. Yeah, I watched it. I like Isuke. I will admit it. But this is OP, and the premise was silly, and the character wasn't that fun or interesting. I think I was just bored when I watched it. Okay, Amagi Brilliant Park. A magical amusement park needs saved within a month. It's a weird premise. It is. I watched 4 out of the 13 episodes that came out in 2014. I give it a 43. It's a maybe. It's an odd place. It's got a lot of odd characters. It isn't compelling or special enough, but I consider it watchable. Amnesia. Girl wakes up with amnesia, surrounded by hot guys. I watched 2 episodes. Came out of the 12. It came out in 2013. I give it a 21. I really don't know what to think about this. She has some strange memories, but the plot is slow and pointless. An Archdemon's Dilemma: How to Love Your Elf Bride. The new Archdemon falls instantly in love and buys an elf as his bride. I watched the whole series, all 12 of them. Came out in 2024, and this one still falls into the maybe category. The show starts weak. The relationship's a bit silly, and the work towards the harem anime seems a bit obvious. The main character's friend should probably have been killed off in episode 2, and it's a bit over the top. It's marginally watchable. And you thought there was never a girl online. I'm sure most of you do. Guy discovers the girls in his MMORPG are real people and live near him when they get together to game. Yeah, fine. I watched 1 out of 12 episodes. Came out in 2016. I give it a 27. Hijink. Let's see. Discovers everyone in his group's female. Hijinks ensue. Blah blah blah. Ain't that good. Android Killcater or Kickator. Scientist builds an android with a conscience. 1 episode out of 13 from 2000. I give it a 12. Predictable characters, over the plot villains, probably a kids cartoon or pretty close there too. Angel Beats. Students who commit suicide fight an angel to survive and find out the true purpose of the afterlife. I watched 3 out of the 13 episodes. It came out in 2010, and I gave it a 27. It didn't draw me in. The story, the unusual setting, the music, the subplot, they just bored me. They weren't good enough. Angel Links. Young girl fights space pirates. No. 1 of 13 from 1999. Like I said, stuff from the 90s, most of it's not terribly good. I give it a 20. Cheap animation, predictable plot. Feels like every other late 90s anime. Angel Tales. Guy gets 3 angels that also used to be his pets to help restore his luck. The description tells you it's bad. I watched 1 out of 12 episodes. It came out in 2001. I give it a 12. They just show up, try to help him, get him into trouble, blah, blah, blah. Welcome to blah, blah, blah land. Angels of Death. Girl wakes up in a hospital full of psychos trying to kill her. I watched 1 out of the 16 episodes. It came out in 2018, and I give it a 9. I'm not big into horror. I just could not connect to this. Okay. Anime Guitarist. Girl has recurring dreams of anime and ends up starting the anime club at school. Great. 1 out of 12 episodes watched. Came out in 2017. I give it a 32. It's a slice of life show about starting an anime club plus odd characters and a magical closet. I don't know. Okay, another. A boy interacts with a girl's ghost. One episode out of 12 watched. 2012, 15. No. Not spooky, not scary, not interesting. Aoashi, probably mispronounced. Guy is good at soccer, but not at teamwork. Learns to be part of a team. 1 out of 24 episodes watched. Came out in 2022. I give it an 8. It's mostly my general disdain for sports anime. Plus, predictable is all fuck. Okay, Ao-chan can't study. Girl keeps accidentally ending up doing embarrassing things. 1 out of 12 episodes watched, 2019, and give it a 9. No. It's an insipid fan service romance with way too much yelling. I don't get yelling. Okay. Aokana, floor rhythm across the sky. Girl falls in love with an anti-gravity game called Flying Circus and gets good at it. I watched the whole thing. It's a weird one. All 12 out of 12 episodes came out in 2016. I give it a 4. It's one of these maybes. Frankly, the name doesn't help the anime. It doesn't tell you what it is. But the game at the center of it is amusing, and the main character is likable. The story itself, predictable, but that's okay. It's watchable. No, I give it a 54.
50.
So, yes, 54. So you can edit as needed. Okay. Appleseed 13. Cops fight bad guys in mech suits. 1 out of 13 episodes watched. 2011 show. I give it an 11. Bad 3D animation that combines with 2D animation, making it ugly. I don't generally like the ones where you're going along and everything's 2D, but they needed to show the car on the road, so they made it 3D, and it just looks clunky. That's a personal thing. Anyway, feels like it's an ad for a game. Even the mechs are boring. Aquarian Age, sign of evolution. Mystical girls fighting for the earth. Yeah, right. 1 out of 13 episodes watched from 2002. I give it a 15. It feels like the author had 2 different passions and tried to combine them into one anime. Didn't work. Okay, we're moving on. Next one, Ark the Lad. We're fighting monsters and with magic in a steampunk-like world. Sounds like the kind of thing I love. I watched 1 episode out of 25. It is not the kind of thing I love. It came out in 1999. There's the usual sign of problems. I give it a 9. No. It's Lady it's late 90s quality animation with fire powers fighting monsters in a steampunk-like setting, and it just isn't very good. That's all there is to it. Okay, next, Area 88. A photojournalist documents mercenary fighter pilots. One out of 12, one episode out of 12 watched from 2004. I give it a 32. I don't recommend it. It's watchable if you like anime dogfight sequences and early 2000 plots. I don't. Argento Soma. Innocent girls befriend a giant mech and protects her from other mechs. I watched 2 episodes out of 25. This came out in 2000. You go to 41. It's deeper than most anime from the same movie era. It's rather predictable, and I just couldn't get into the character, partly because of lazy animation. It just wasn't that great. Okay. Aria, the animation, the nature, and the origination. Gondola driver on the planet Aqua has adventures. I watched 1 out of 52 episodes from this 2005 sucker. I give it an 8. It's not cute. It's not fun, even for a slice of life. Next, Aria, the Scarlet Ammo, and Arliet, the Scarlet Ammo AA. Oddly enough, they are not the same animation entirely. The first one's not as good as the second one, strangely enough. She's the best. He's nearly incompetent. They're both going to high school to be special warriors in the police. I watched all 24 episodes between the 2011 and 2015 show. I give the whole thing a 50, 51, 52, someplace in that. The first one, he's good only when he's aroused, which throws in some weird fan servicey stuff. Not too bad. It's not obnoxious. Female characters tend to get annoying. The second one, they drop the male character almost entirely, which actually makes it more watchable. It also has less fan service in it. But the main character has lots of insecurities, which kind of get on my nerves after a while. So we move on to Arifureta. I cannot pronounce it properly. From commonplace to the world's strongest. Basically, one of many people summoned from another world, so it's another Isekai. Starts off with him nearly killed by a party member. He survives through stubbornness and maybe some wit, and becomes incredibly strong. Watched all 25 out of the 25 episodes across 2 separate seasons. Came out in 2019. I give it a 73. I enjoy a good anti-hero, and he definitely qualifies. There's definitely some harem in this, but it's not a huge obnoxious. It's not huge and obnoxious. The most obnoxious part would probably be the one character who's a bit of a masochist, which makes she's a little obnoxious, but she doesn't get most of the playtime. So the show's good, even if we do have a character or two that are a little obnoxious. Okay, Arjuna. A girl becomes the avatar of time and has to fight monsters to save the Earth. I watched 1 out of 13 episodes of this 2001 show, and I give it a 17. I don't recommend it. This is how I would describe it. Captain Planet meets bizarre anime with monsters that all represent human flaws. Yeah. Okay. Next. Armed Girls Machiavellism. Armed girls rule a school, and basically a guy shows up and messes up everything. I watched all 12 out of the 12 episodes. It came out in 2017. I give it a 61. This one's weird. Basically, he arrives on campus where all the girls are armed with swords and other weapons. And, of course, he immediately defeats at least one of them. Because most of the rest of the men have to cross-dress just to stay out of trouble with the girls, because the girls have become as bad as, well, guys can be. he, makes friends. There's maybe a touch of anime, a touch of misogyny in it, but the whole thing's pretty enjoyable overall. Yeah, I'd say watch it. Okay, next, Armed Librarians, the Book of Bantora, where books keep our memories, and when we die, librarians try to protect those books. Yeah, whatever. I watched 1 out of 27 episodes from this 2009 show. Give it a 15. Got an odd premise, has a stupid war going on, and unrelatable characters. Arms Alchemy. I don't know. Kids show? Basically, the guy gets powerful arms after alchemy saves his life. I watched 1 out of the 26 episodes from this 2008 show. I give it a 14. Um, Other than the really bizarre arms the main character grows, there's nothing new or interesting here. It's basically just one guy fights a bunch of other people. There's way too much anime around that. Arte. A young girl in the Renaissance wants to be an artist. Thus, Arte. 1 episode out of 12 watched. Came out in 2020 and I give it a 31. No. I'm sorry. Historical romance, not my thing. I appreciate the girl's desire and conviction. The story, on the other hand, predictable. Ascendance of a Bookworm. Girl reincarnates and wants to read books. I watched 1 out of the 36 episodes from this 2019 thing, and I give it a 9. I have nothing for this show. It's boring, and the girl's voice is annoying. Assassination Classroom. Okay, let's move on. An alien creature threatens to destroy the world if they don't let him teach a high school class. There are 47 episodes, and I watched each and every last one of them. The show came out in 2015, and I give it an 84. It's one of my highest ranked animes. This is brilliant. It's fun. The relationships between the alien and the kids is cool. And all the things that go on, it's just a fun anime. It is, however, very much a tearjerker at the end, so be warned. Assassin's Pride. An assassination helps and then falls for the girl he's supposed to evaluate and possibly assassinate. I watched 1 out of these 12 episodes. It's a 2019 show. I give it a 23. And so the girl, without powers, is picked on by her peers until, who cares? It's horrible. Okay. Assault Lily Bouquet. Young girls fight monsters. That's it. One episode out of 12 watched this 2020 show. I give it a 10. High school girls with high-powered magical weapons plus drama equals predictable. Pass. Okay. Now we move on to Asteroid in Love. I watched 1 out of the 12 episodes from this 2020 show. I give it a 14. It's a slice of life show about astronomy and clubs. It might be interesting if you're a young woman. I am not. Okay, Astra, Lost in Space. Teenagers go on a simple field trip to another planet and end up light years from where they're supposed to go to. I watched all 12 of these 12 episodes of this 2019 show, and I rank it a 77. Yes, watch it. It's it's Lost in Space with your teenagers that have to find their way home. They learn teamwork. They they create friendships. They learn secrets about their own past. It was enjoyable. It was not what I expected at all. Okay, Astro Boy. This is old, so don't expect much. Scientists build a robot son after his real one dies. I watched an episode. There are 193 of them. This was made in 1963, so, it's black and white, it's old, it's worth a 20. But it's a simple cartoon, kids' cartoon from a simpler time. There's nothing interesting about it. It's just a show. Attack on Titan, and I'm sure this one's going to give me some hate mail. Giant monsters eat humans. We fight back. I watched 7 just to figure out what was going on. Out of the 87 plus, there's a lot other additional stuff. Started in 2013. I give it a 25. I really didn't enjoy it. Um, it's just drama, 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 whine, whine, whine. I don't like whiny characters, and there's lots of them. Okay, we're almost there. Just 3 more to go. Akaya, a story of bonds and wounds. A kid returns to the island where he was discovered, finds out he has special powers. 1 episode out of 12 watched, came out in 2023. I give it a 14. Whiny main characters don't do it for me, and this one has personal issues. This guy's special powers are dumb. See? Now you've got me whining. Anyway, move on. Azumanga Daioh, the animation. Kids cartoon? Pointless high school adventure? I don't know. I watched 1 episode out of 26. Came out in 2002, which, dates it a bit. I give it a 3. It's that bad. This is unwatchable. And I've seen it at Netty. Okay, here it is, people. The last of the A's. Azure Lane. Aliens push humanity out of the oceans. Humanity fights, wins, and then fights itself using scantily clad children. I watched 1 episode out of 12 of this 2019 show, and I give it a whole 9. It's just a giant collection of fan service, thinly disguised as cute girls doing battle. Other doesn't even really bother to say why. Yeah, no. Find something better to watch. Well, that's it for A, which means that I'm Galen with a G. I'm out of here.